Well, how do you do, Buckaroos? This is Tom the Beer Whisperer, and I am back with you on a happy hour snow day. And I've got another guest for this hour of happy hour. I've got Dale Roberts out of Colorado. Hey, Dale, I don't know. Do you want me to mention your business or not?
No, go ahead. I own several Blackjack pizzas out here. So
Okay. So tell me about that. How did you get into that business?
I've been working in pizza since my 16th birthday, and just never left. So
pizza's in your blood, huh?
That's it. I got sauce in there somewhere.
Yeah, but I imagine you're part of a chain, so you have to do certain things that the chain allows. But I've seen some of your creations that are a little bit outside the box.
Oh yeah. Well, that's kind of why I'm with Blackjack, is we're given a little rope to hang ourselves with, you know.
Yeah, I mean, are you able to do? Is that just, when you do those out of the box stuff? Is that just for you and your family, or can you experiment with local flavors?
Some of the real oddball stuff that you've probably seen me messing around with is all just for me, but I got a lot of things that are on my menu that aren't on the rest of the chain's menu, so they're out there for the public.
Because you know what your people want.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know, when you represent the People's Republic of Boulder, Colorado.
The People's Republic, yeah. I just spilled beer all over myself. You didn't notice that. I'm having the Core oatmeal stout. It's a very nice oatmeal stout. What are you drinking today?
Well, let me wander over to Beerzilla and see what I can pull out. Real quick here.
I wouldn't take a drink, and I dribble that all over myself.
This seems like the perfect time if I can find a bottle opener. I have been trying to find one of these beers that people tell me, oh my God, they're so hot. And then I try them and I get nothing. So I got a bottle of Ghostface Killer.
There you go.
Okay, so
I haven't had that in about 3 years. I found the one I had to be pretty hot.
Now this one was, when I did drink it about a month ago, I'll say it was warm. There were peppers. Unlike the Crime and the Punishment that I just had, which were total fails to me, this one had some heat, but it wasn't more than the Habanero Sculpin. You know, it was about the same. So,
see, I like the Habanero Sculpin.
I love the Habanero Sculpin. I think it's one of the best hot beers out there, just because it's perfect enough that you can continue drinking. You know, you don't want it so hot that that it's a novelty and you gotta stop. So.
Yeah, I sort of agree with you. I'm not sure if it's when you want to have more of one at a time, though.
That may be true. I find myself often, well, before the buyout, I don't know if I'm supporting them or not anymore, but
okay, here we go.
It wasn't Budweiser, but anyway, I like to mix that one with the Grapefruit Sculpin 50/50, and I think and so.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, well, here's the thing. I guess buyouts have good and bad connotations, right? Because the good is distribution. I couldn't get Ballast Point in my neck of the woods before the buyout. Now I get them here.
Right.
The negative tends to be, well, at some point the beer quality tends to decline, or creativity is stifled.
Right. It's been a mixed bag because, being over here in Colorado, I've been drinking a lot of the Oregon and Washington beers more than the people on the East Coast. So the Elysian and the 10 Barrel I had used to drink and I used to trade for, and they get bought out, and it's like, ooh, now, just I don't think that anything's changed yet. So and then 10 Barrel coming to market all of a sudden, instead of just one IPA that they had, the Apocalypse IPA, they've got Joe IPA, which I went and bought a bottle. It was amazing, but do I want to support, the continuation of this, or are we going to get to a point where that's the norm and these small breweries are going to survive because the guys with the money are going to come in.
Well, I think you're kind of right. I think there's been a lot of conversation lately about certain breweries that were built to sell. There was an article out recently about Golden Road. You know that the intention of that brewery from their inception was to be bought. And
Right.
It makes you wonder if a lot of breweries are starting out with that intention.
Well, my observation on a lot of the buyouts was a lot of these breweries that were like the late 80s, middle 90s. So they've been around for long. Golden Road, that one hasn't been around very long. So you may absolutely be right.
So there's an argument for built to sell.
Yeah. But yeah, and you know, that's a shame too, because I know that you've had them and I've had a lot of those Golden Road beers and they were excellent.
They were beyond excellent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had three, and all three were outstanding.
Yeah, that Wolf Among the Weeds double IPA is one of the best. That one
was pretty special. I mean, it was as good as anybody's double IPA. I mean, if we're talking about Pliny or if we're talking about heady, it's as good as
it's in the conversation. Well, this beer got a little heat on me and then it faded, so it's about where I would expect a nice heat beer to be. So, you know, I'll keep drinking it and see if it starts to elevate, but you know, it's definitely, maybe my palate for hot beers is just different than some people's, but
well, I can eat crazy spicy. My issue with a lot of the beers that tend to get too hot is, well, how far is too far? I mean, it has to remain drinkable. It's different with a food, because you want if I'm eating if I'm eating spicy food, if I'm eating Mexican or if I'm eating Thai, I want it to burn the hell out of my palate. That's the point.
Yeah.
But if I'm drinking a beer, do I really want to do the same thing?
Well, I absolutely agree. It has to remain. That's what I'm saying. Like, it can't just be a novelty, you know. Oh, this is just to see if I start to cry, you know. Back in the day, before I was an owner of pizza shops, I managed, and me and a couple guys, we used to just do a hot wing challenge. We'd just go out and find whatever bottle of hot sauce we could, and we'd do 5 and see, you know, and you know, move to the next one. And I remember doing one, and I ate one, then the phone rang. I'm crying because it was just off. And it's Blair's Sudden Death Sauce. Blair's Sudden Death Sauce is all mouth heat and no flavor, and I don't like that, you know. But then you get something like Mad Dog, I think it's Mad Dog 357 or something like that, and it's one of the really, really hot sauces out there, but it's got a great flavor. Sure, it burns for 20 minutes when you but you know, if you can still eat or enjoy it.
And that's the point, right? Something can be extremely hot, still have flavor if it's done right.
Yeah, for real.
So on a completely, unrelated note, I'm drinking an oatmeal stout with no spice whatsoever.
Nice. Yeah, no. Hey.
And I bought this because, I was in Arkansas. Core Brewery is out of Springdale, Arkansas. I happened to be in Rogers, Arkansas when I picked it up. But it's just a beautiful version of an oatmeal stout.
Very nice. Very nice.
So, Dill, are you from Colorado? Is that where you grew up?
It would definitely be where I grew up. I moved here when I was 5. I was born in San Jose, California.
Oh.
And my dad worked for IBM, so I lived in Moline, Illinois for 3 or 4 years. And then halfway through kindergarten year, we moved to Colorado. So I've been here since like 1977 and can't leave.
You've been there now, huh?
Oh, yeah.
My sister ended up in Highlands Ranch about 87, maybe 86, because I wasn't quite 21 yet. So it was right about the mid-80s. And she's been there ever since.
Huh. Very nice.
But she loves that area.
Yeah, it's definitely neat. That's because I'm up in Longmont, so I'm 30 miles north of Denver, and she's probably 15 miles south of Denver-ish.
Yeah.
We're in there, so nice.
Okay. So I know I've told you this before, but we visited. I was actually working. I was running a bakery in Delhi for Walmart at the time in a town I don't want to mention in Colorado, which is basically the armpit of the earth. I mean, it was just a horrible town, and which is why I don't want to mention the name. It's terrible. And you couldn't get people to work for you. It was 30% unemployment, generational unemployment, and these people will not go to work for any reason.
That's horrible.
It was just an armpit of a town. But anyways, we were visiting them, and they were taking us around to different places, and there happened to be a festival in Idaho Springs. And there was a Bojo's Pizza out there that my brother-in-law at the time just insisted we go to. So we ordered this pizza. We ordered the biggest pizza they have, the pineapple or Hawaiian pizza, I guess.
Yeah.
Canadian bacon and pineapple, whatever. And it was an hour and a half before it finally gets to us. And when it gets to us, it's not cooked. It's soggy all the way through. I took a piece of pizza and squeezed water out of it. It is soggy all the way through. So the waitress comes over, or my brother-in-law, who's used to be in a big shop, calls her over. He is beyond pissed at this point because he's embarrassed because he recommended the joint, and he tells her what happened with the pizza. She says, well, that happens about 4 out of every 10 pizzas. Because they don't drain the pineapple enough. So I'm thinking, as a retail guy at the time, the 40% inaccuracy is acceptable to you people. Damn, I think really 40% you're okay with 40% getting screwed up?
Jeez.
So anyway, are you familiar with that chain?
Yeah. There's
Have you had better luck with them than I have?
they have. It's a super thick crust and stuff. So that would be weird though. But yeah.
All you have to do is drain the frickin' pineapple.
I know.
You put it in a deal. You put it in a strainer. You squeeze it, and your pineapple will not get your. I mean, it's a simple process. Maybe it takes a few seconds. Maybe it takes 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Either way, you don't lose a fucking pizza.
I know.
Anyway.
That is crazy.
I see Mike try to join us. For some reason, he had the same issue the first time. I can't hear it.
I heard him now, I think.
Mike, are you there?
Yeah.
There we go. So, Mike, introduce yourself to Dale.
Hey, Dale. I'm Mike. How you doing, buddy?
Very good. Nice to meet you.
You too. Yeah, I was having a hell of a time trying to connect to this darn thing.
Mike is from North Carolina?
Yep.
North Carolina. All right.
I heard
big beer scene over there now.
Yeah.
Everybody, all the big guys moved in to have secondary breweries, and then I'm sure you've got tons of great ones. So.
Oh yeah, quite a few. I heard IBM mentioned there a minute ago. My dad worked for IBM for 35 years.
Oh yeah. My dad was almost 40 years or something crazy.
Amazing.
Yep.
Mike, what are you drinking with us this session? Please tell me it's not another beast.
It's a khaki can. It's a khaki. The Coors khaki.
Yeah. There's some generics tonight.
That was what when growing up, we'd go back to visit friends in where we had lived in Illinois and bring back cases of Coors because Coors wasn't distributed back that way, in '78 and whatnot. And,
I remember that. Smokey and the Bandit.
Yep. So.
Well, my dad was a union guy, so he never allowed Coors in his house or even in the garage. He called Coors a scab beer. My dad was a die-hard union guy, man. Coors was a scab beer because they used non-union labor.
Oh, jeez.
What's y'all's opinion of Rolling Rock?
Rolling Rock?
Yeah.
Well, see, I don't drink a lot of those types of beers, so. I think I've tried Rolling Rock once. I think I really only have tried it once, and I was like, it's I think it's skunked on purpose, so.
Yeah. See, if I'd have known I was going to be a part of these videos tonight, this is my second video ever, so I was going to beer.
So poor Mike kind of jumped into the fire.
Hey, it's all right.
So here's the thing. I want to say this about Mike. He is a craft beer guy. He understands craft beer. He drinks a lot of craft beer, but he's a guy who's been unemployed. He's on a tight budget, so he's drinking,
Oh, sure.
bargain beer.
I get it. My it's not, when I go to Cheyenne Frontier Days, I mean, I can drink New Belgium Fat Tire, which I despise, or I can drink Miller Lite. So I'm going to drink Miller Lite because it's 90 degrees, 100 degrees, and windy. So
so Dale, that's what I call a win and roll moment.
No, my favorite one was the Oscar Blues IPA. I had that recently.
That blue can.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a pretty. They did a pretty good job rolling that one out.
Yeah. But what was I going to say? Y'all, is Tom or Dale? Have y'all had the Mystery Brewing?
The only thing I've had for Mystery is the Thornfield's End Smoked Rye Stout, and that thing was amazing.
And I've never even heard of them. So.
I've had the entire line. They're just about maybe 30 minutes away from where I'm at. So.
Ah, nice. Yeah, I could walk down to Oscar Blues if I wanted to.
Oh, you're lucky.
I'm 2 miles from the Longmont Brewery, so.
Ooh.
And Left Hand, which is just around the way. So.
Oh,
Left Hand is good too.
Yeah. We're in the beer mecca here.
Yeah, you are. You got stuff all over. Yeah.
Oh, I know. Even the little ones that nobody's heard of. It's like, they make pretty damn good beer.
Sometimes the little ones nobody's heard of are the best ones.
Oh yeah.
I won't even try and pull out a Bud Select on you guys. No.
Well, I tell you what. Hey, Dale, talk about the breweries that are around your neighborhood, though.
Oh yeah, the big ones are here. We've got the New Belgian is up in Fort Collins, which is 30 miles from me, and all the Denver ones. With some of the ones and I know I've sent Tom a bunch of samples from one of my favorite breweries in Boulder, Upslope Brewing, and they do a heck of a job over there. But I mean, yeah, Oscar Blues, the Tasty Weasel Tap Room is always hopping, and they just rolled out. They had scaled back Deviant Dales, which is the double IPA.
Yeah.
And they had scaled it back to now it's being a seasonal release, and now it's in 12-ounce cans. And if you wanted to know something about me, Deviant Dales is my desert island beer. If I was stranded on a desert island, just stock it with Deviant Dales, and I'm happy as a clam.
Well, I would go for maybe like a Guinness Extra Stout.
Yeah, well, that's a good one too. I mean, it's whatever your preference is. There's just something about Deviant Dales that just makes me. I just love it. It's just.
Yeah, I've never had it, so I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, it's an 8%er, but it doesn't drink like an 8%er. That's why it's dangerous, because you can pound a couple. Well, it used to be the pint cans, the 16-ouncers. You'd pound a couple of them and then be like, oh, okay, I had a few beers.
Sudden, it hit you all of a sudden like a freight train or something.
Yeah, because it goes down so easy and so nice, and it never gets in the conversation of those other 8% double IPAs, the Pliny's and the Headies, but Deviant Dales is a pretty solid brew. So.
Well, actually, now that I think about it, the Seeing Double IPA from Foothills Brewing in Winston-Salem is, I guess, my island beer. I guess you could.
Yeah, that one. I've heard of Foothills. I've never had. I think I've had one beer from them, but yeah, that would probably be a good beer.
Hey, Dale, do they actually refer to the Deviant Dales as a double IPA?
So I just and when they just came out in the 12-ounce cans, I pointed it out to my buddy. He's like, it's always been known as a double IPA. I said, nuh-uh. I said, on the 16-ounce cans, it always just said India Pale Ale. There was no words about Imperial or double on it. but now on the new 12-ounce cans it says Imperial IPA.
Oh, yeah, because when I first had it, it was in the 16-ounce can. Just said IPA, but
Exactly.
it's an 8% 80 IPA. So when the first video I did on it, I said they don't call itself a double IPA, but statistically it is a double IPA.
Yeah, absolutely, and it really is, and and I think that they're now calling it an Imperial IPA because it's not a double of their new IPA that Mike just drank, that blue can. So, it's not a double, it's an Imperial. But
it's all semantics at this point, isn't it?
I'm sure it is, And then then what is Gubna? Because Gubna's always been an Imperial IPA for them, but that's the 10% beast,
That's a bigger one, yeah.
Yeah.
What I liked about I love the Gubna, to be honest with you. But what was interesting about the Deviant Dales was it has a bigger malt body than the Gubna.
Yes. Yeah, it's a super balanced, but then it has a little bit of that extra just sweetness on the top and.
But yeah, it's big, malty, sticky though.
Yeah. Definitely. That's probably why I like it so much, because it's
that's why I loved it. I remember the first time I had it was about 2 years ago. I'm thinking, holy crap! Why is everybody talking about this one?
That's exactly my point too. It's a solid beer,
especially for the price at the time. I'm thinking, holy crap! In 16-ounce cans. Son of a gun.
Yeah, they're selling the 6-pack 12-ounce cans for $10, which is not bad.
Oh damn, that's even better actually.
Yeah. When a 4-pack of 12-ounce Gubna is $12, but that's a 10%.
My next one is 15.
Yeah. So, yeah, they are what they are.
It depends on what you're looking for. The Gubna is more on the hop end. It's more of that kind of fruit salad. Imperial IPA, but Deviant Dales is just big and sticky.
Oh yeah. Gubna's if I want to be one and done, that's a great beer, But for me, Deviant Dales, I can just sit there, and as long as I don't go so fast, I'm good. I can drink a few,
Make sure you're not driving, yeah.
Exactly.
Be safe,
Yeah. A good poker night party,
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
Cards.
Very good.
Oh, mercy. So, we're having a snow day here. How bad's the weather in your neck of the woods, Dale?
Oh, we're getting ready for the heat wave.
Are you?
All that moved out and went to you, and
thanks for that.
Yep, you're welcome. And we're about mid 40s today. Let me just look. I think 45 degrees right now outside.
Well, hell, you're damn near tropical.
I know. Well, Saturday it's supposed to be close to 60.
Holy shit!
And then start snowing during the football game on Sunday.
Yeah, we're supposed to keep getting colder and colder.
Yeah.
We're about to get hit with a major.
So have you got a team still in the hunt?
Well, I'm a Cowboy fan first and foremost, but then
I like it anyway.
But then I'm here with the Broncos, and I'm always, and I support the Broncos. I always have. So, and they're good for business.
Regardless of the Cowboy thing, I like you anyway.
I know, right? I get that. You either love me or you hate me.
Well, see, here's the thing. I mean, I've been a Rams fan since the day I was born.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up in L.A., so I've always been a Rams fan. So I followed them when they went to St. Louis. I was a Rams fan. The first few years when they went 4-12 every year, I was a Rams fan. The year they won the Super Bowl, I was a Rams fan, and so was everybody else. All of a sudden, everybody was a Rams fan.
Yeah.
And now they're back to L.A., so everybody hates the Rams again, and I'm still a Rams fan.
Yeah, I'm happy for the move for them back in L.A. I think they're the only ones that should go. They shouldn't even try to put two teams. Just leave everybody else where they're at. But money.
Well, for me, my perspective is different than a lot of St. Louis folks because, I grew up out there. So for me, they've always been an L.A. team. They should go back to L.A.
1946 to 1994.
For the folks that want to piss and moan about everything about the Rams and how bad they've been over the last decade, they brought St. Louis their only Super Bowl, so they should shut the fuck up.
Yep.
That's my opinion.
That's a good opinion.
I agree.
They brought you a Super Bowl. How about shutting the fuck up right now? Anyways, so now that I've offended everybody, hey, I'm going to end this session before we run too long. I want to thank Mike for joining me, and I want to thank Dale out of Colorado. Dale and I, we've never met personally, but we've got to have this craft beer thing going for a few years now. We keep talking about meeting because I got his sister out there, so one of these days I'm going to get in that direction. So I want to thank you guys for joining me for this session of the Beer Whisperer Pub, and we may be back. Who knows?
All right.